son's a musician, plays in a couple of bands. He plays saxophone. He obviously went to school here, and music was his minor. And musicians don't make a whole lot. So that's what that joke is about. You buy me all these things, and you totally can't. But it's kind of like teaching, you do it for passion, right? So if we want to help our kids grow into musicians, then we have passion to show them that. The first couple of slides are just a list of the types of music you can include in your classroom, music that appeals to kids, music that kids should be exposed to. I'm not going to talk you through them, you know what they are, but I wanted to include them so they have them for a resource later. So lullabies, folk songs, nursery rhymes. I will say something about that one. Some people kind of dismiss nursery rhymes because they're boring and they're old-fashioned and they're baby, but they do so much for kids in terms of reading and rhyming and understanding language. So those are really important to include, even if you hate them. Some people do. Multicultural. Music from the specific child's ethnic heritage. So if you have a child that's from somewhere else in the world, include their music. Help them be incorporated. Holidays, seasonal music. Contemporary children's music, so that's like the stuff that they do on Disney Channel, right? Or Kids Bop. Now, children's music. Even pop music is okay as long as it's censored. Chants, rhymes, and raps. Classical music. I don't think our kids get enough of that. I don't feel like I have enough of it. I feel kind of uncomfortable teaching my students, my third grade students, about it because my background's not very strong. But classical music has been one of the ones that's shown to make the most connections in our brains. So we need to be emphasizing it a bit more. Dancing, patriotic songs. Story songs are always fun because they help with that reading comprehension. So those are just two slides with types of music so that you have something to look at later for what things to incorporate. We talked a little bit about music in the inclusive classroom. These are just a few more suggestions to help you make sure that everyone's included in music activities. So you want to make sure you're using a variety of high quality music. If it's all the same kind, then kids are going to get bored. They're not going to feel included if they really don't like that kind. Make sure you include everyone. Make sure there's a step-by-step plan on how to make kids part of the music. If it's a movement activity, you want to make sure you are outlining those specific steps for kids. Because some of them aren't really great with those gross motor or fine motor skills, and they're going to feel overwhelmed if you don't give them a step-by-step way to be involved. Also with singing. Walk them through the lyrics. Walk them through kind of the tonal qualities. They don't have to hit the notes, right? But they have to know what the melody is. Make sure you're doing that slowly so that they can be included. If you're a classroom teacher, which most of us are going to be, try to include music and movement, as part of IEPs. We can build some connections for those kids that struggle if we make sure that we are including that they are going to incorporate music into their daily activities, or even that they're just going to participate in music class. Because sometimes if that's not written down and they're struggling in music class, that music teacher doesn't feel like she's or he's obliged to make it work for them, unfortunately. So make sure we're writing that in so that it's included. And I'll tell you, most often it's not. I've had to make special requests for kids that I knew liked music, but they struggled in music class. I had to make a special request to make sure that was in their IEP, that they were accommodated at that time. Be aware of their instrument preferences if you're going to include instruments. I would guess your schools will be funded that way, but if you get an opportunity to have a classroom set of instruments, figure out what the kids like and let them play with that. Don't stick them with drums if they hate the drums, right? Encourage it outside of the classroom and identify your resources. Your co-teachers are your best friends, right? They are going to have more stuff than you will, and you can always draw from whatever they have. They're going to be willing to share, especially if you come to them and say, I need help, right? Don't come up to them adversarial like, well, this kid isn't doing this, what can we do? Like say, oh, good, dude, I need help. They're going to be willing to help you. We're all there for each other. So here are the ways we use music and movement in the classroom. I really want to sit on a desk today because I'm tired, but I'm not going to because I'll be in Janelle's way. Sorry. Begin the day, greet each other, create a warm atmosphere, establish mood. All those things on the right side are kind of classroom management things, right? Except link art with other subjects, I guess. You want to use it to help focus children's attention on whatever task you're doing. If them relax, establish a mood. If it's just the morning and you want them to all come in and feel okay, just play some music for them. You can focus their attention on something. Maybe there's a cool science rap you do, or maybe there's a multiplication rap you do, so you want to draw them into that. You can also use it for those special events, holidays, celebrating diversity. Establish community. Maybe you have a song you sing in the morning. Our music teacher at my old school does an awesome job of establishing community with songs. They sing to her when they come in. That's how they say hi. That's how they leave. They sing a song when they're lining up. Just to chill out, refresh, relax, sharpen your thinking skills. So maybe you are doing a social studies unit on, I don't know, the Constitution. And you found a really cool song that just makes them think a little bit, helps wake them up. Promote their creative expression. You can play music while they're working. And you can bring the day to a close with music. So we can use it for classroom management. We can also use it to tie in cross-curricular, right? So we can do math or science or social studies or reading with our music. All right, so here's the thing. We have a lot of big assignments coming up. We have the interview that I assigned last week that is due Friday. And then we're going to have 2 lesson plans. One's going to be collaborative with a partner. One's going to be on your own. And I'm also going to give me a second, I'm going third thing. Third thing I'm going to give you observation. I would like you to go watch Miss Weber, my old music teacher at George Nettles. Do you guys know where George Nettles is? Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. You can Google it, but it's the school that's closest to the university. If you are out by the president's house, there's that big field. George Nettles is across forward. It's just right there. So I have a sign-up sheet that I want you to sign up before we leave, and I'm going to give you rundown details of all this, but I want to let you know there's a lot coming up. I'm giving you 3 days off to get it all done. So Wednesday, Friday, and Monday. Because I'm asking you to go do something outside of class. I'm asking you to do do a collaborative plan. And I'm asking for 2 other things. And I feel like it's not fair if I make you come to class 2. So we're going to have 3 days off of class. And then when we come back, we're going to present our lessons to class like we are teaching each other. Yay! Excited? All right, let's run through the details. So the first one, this is, I think, to me, the easiest, maybe not to you, but to me this is the easiest. This is just an activity plan. It's not a full-blown lesson plan. It's just that short activity plan. You're going to find a music or movement activity to address a classroom management need. So the things we talked about, opening the day, changing subjects, creating a warm atmosphere, cleaning up, marking a special event. Maybe you have a song for a birthday or for a holiday that you want to use. Those are classroom management things. They celebrate moments in our day. And that needs to be submitted by next Wednesday, the day we come back together. I'm going to show you an example. And there are more classroom management things you can do. I just listed a few. Yeah, and I'll load the PowerPoint after class today. I'm going to flip Canvas and I want to show you where it is. So this one is music movement for classroom management. And this is that short thing. So there, I put some resources on our webpage. You just have to have the title, the description, the source, the grade level, and what purpose you're going to use it for. That's all you have to submit to Canvas. But for class, you're going to need to come ready to teach it. For example, if I were teaching a classroom management movement song, I would do the wiggle chant, let's say. Something I've done before. So first I would start off by showing the chant so kids could see it. So you, my kids, pretend you're my kids for a minute. My kids could see it, and I would say, all right, guys, we're going to learn a new chant today. This one's going to help us get focused, get all those wiggles out, and get ready to start the day. All right, everybody stand up. Come on, do this. And you know, I don't think your elementary school students are going to treat you like that. They're just a model, okay? So the song starts like this, and I want you to repeat after me. I had a little wiggle.
I had a little wiggle.
Deep inside of me.
Deep inside of me.
I tried to make it stop.
I tried to make it stop.
But it wouldn't let me be.
But it wouldn't let me be.
And then I would actually take them back through that first part. So let's try that again. I had a little wiggle.
I had a little wiggle.
Deep inside of me.
Deep inside of me.
I tried to make it stop.
I tried to make it stop.
But it wouldn't let me be.
But it wouldn't let me be.
Let's try the first part all together. You ready? I had a little wiggle. Deep inside of me.
I tried to make it stop, but it wouldn't let me be.
Awesome. Let's try the second part. I pulled out that wiggle.
I pulled out that wiggle
And threw it like a ball.
and threw it like a ball.
Now my wiggle's gone.
Now my wiggle's gone
And it's bouncing down the hall.
and it's bouncing down the hall.
All right, you'll have your repeat again for the second part. We'll try it one more time and then we'll do it together. I pulled out that wiggle
I pulled out that wiggle
and threw it like a ball.
and threw it like a ball.
Now my wiggle's gone
Now my wiggle's gone
and it's bouncing down the hall.
and it's bouncing down the hall.
All right, let's try the second part all together. I pulled out that wiggle and threw it like a ball. Now my wiggle's gone and it's bouncing down the hall. Perfect. We're going to add movement to that. So the beginning part talks about our wiggle. So while we do that, can you wiggle? And then when we pull out that wiggle, can you pull it out and stop wiggling? And you have a wiggle that is in the shape of a ball. What are you going to do in a sense to throw it? Throw it and watch it bounce. Awesome. You see what I did? I broke it down in really little steps, right? We learned the first part twice, then together. Learned the second part twice, then together. Then I added the movement. Okay, let's do a little movement. Are you ready? Okay. I had a little wiggle deep inside of me. I tried to make it stop, but it wouldn't let me be. I pulled out that wiggle and threw it like a ball. Now my wiggle's gone and it's bouncing down the hall. Hooray! See what you're, is that going to be so hard? And now you have your wiggle. We started with that, right? All right, the next thing is your cross-curricular lesson plan. This one I'm having you do collaboratively because it is a much bigger task. I'm going to give you a partner, and actually we're going to have a couple of groups of 3 just because of the absences and the way things work out. You need to make sure you include math, reading, science, or social studies. And these will be just like the art ones. You don't have to teach the entire math topic or reading topic or social studies topic. You just have to tie it in and show how your activity fits. This will also be due on Wednesday, so I'm giving you that whole time. I'm going to show you my lesson plan, and then I will give you your partner. I want to talk about the lesson plan a little bit. I was pretty impressed with your first round of lesson plans. There is one spot that I didn't know we would struggle here. I wondered, but it's just an organizational thing. You included all the pieces. It just maybe wasn't broke out the way we would hoped. So here's my lesson plan. It's for first grade science. I included the next generation science standards for weather and climate. My performance objective, children will develop skill in making observations and creative movement. My materials, I need umbrellas. We're going to go on a walk. Long pieces of material such as colorful scarves, or I have used ribbon before for this. Recorded music. And the students will be grouped as a whole group for this activity. You guys did awesome on this part, by the way. This beginning was great on your lesson plans. I was impressed. Anticipatory set, this is where we kind of draw our kids in. We aren't teaching really at this point. We're just kind of making them excited. So who would not be excited for this? Paying attention to the weather, right? We always tell them, no, look out the window. guess what we're gonna do today, guys? We're gonna look out the window. So I draw their attention to the weather. They look through the window. We ask what's happening. This has to happen on a rainy day. So it's a timing thing. Talk about what's making the puddles, and we put on our raincoats and we go for a walk. Is that an exciting anticipatory set? Yeah, they're gonna love that. Then during the walk, we talk about the rain, how it feels, what's making the leaves move. It might be the wind or the rain. Talk about the rain falling on the leaves and the grass and the petals. After we get back inside, my check for understanding is going to see if they can move like raindrops. Can they drop into petals? Can they drop into leaves? How would a raindrop move in the wind? Then here's their application. Application is what the kids do. That's kind of where you guys put a lot of this in the instruction, most of us. I want you to dump it down into application because this is where they're applying the concept. So I instructed them. We talked about rain. We talked about how rain moves. Then I checked to make sure they got it. Asked them to kind of move like rain. We didn't make a big deal out of it, but here's the big deal out of it. Now they have to move. I would play music that changes tempo often, and they have to pretend they're raindrops, so they're going to move fast or slow. When music stops, they're supposed to fall into puddles. Then I'd give them scarves, and they would continue to dance, just make it a little bigger. There, I put a safety note. Encourage children to move in a well-defined area. So make sure that they know they need to stay in their personal space. They're not like running across the room with their best friend and bumping into each other. Because they will totally do that. We used to do just dance breaks. And their rule was they had to stay like in the square of their desk. 75% did that. The other 25% like across the room when you looked up. And you don't even know how it happened. So make sure you lay out those little rules. In the closure, we discussed their movement and reflect on the things they did. My assessment was to observe kids as they moved and their answers to my questions. If I noticed a child was struggling with the concept of rain or the actual movement, I might go over and actually just stand beside them and help them. Or if a student that I'm noticing that is constantly struggling with some movement things, we might have to go to Plan C and talk about how we can get them some help or some additional practice with movement. I didn't put audio there. I was going to have you guys do this. Do you want to do it? You want to move like raindrops? But you will have to present this like I did the last one, just like you are teaching the class. We wouldn't do the A set, obviously. If it's something you can't do, you could just explain, well, I would have you go outside and pretend that you're walking around in the rain, right? But then you would do the instruction and the activity with our class. Okay, so if you have music you need, come prepared with it, or a link. I just found a YouTube video that had music on it that works. So make sure you come prepared because you're going to have to teach that to them. That was the collaborative assignment. I'm going to give you your partners now. And just write each other down. And some people have learned their lesson, I know, but make sure you guys get contact information before you leave here today. Because sometimes our meeting times and places don't work out the way they should. And we don't know who we are. So make sure you know who your partners are. Olivia and Taylor. And Lucia. Wave to each other. Come on, you can do this.
I was looking around.
Casey and Brooke. This is a 3. Janelle, Melanie, and Unji. These 3. Look, it's like detective. Wendy and Kelsey. Morgan and Caitlin. Hello. Jordan and Raisa. Kayla, Samantha, and I'm putting Brittany with you. She's not here right now. She has a family emergency, so I'll talk to you after. minutes long. There are questions on Canvas, and I want you to reflect on your observation by next Friday. So you have an extra day for this, actually, an extra class period. So if you can't get your observation in by next Wednesday when we start coming to class again, you'll have a couple extra days to get it in sometime. Because her schedule's a little bit nuts, just like ours is. But I just want you to pay attention to what she does to make music work in her classroom. Music teachers are our best assets for learning how to use music. We can't do it as extensively as they do, but we can use pieces of what they do.
Yeah, more than one person go at a time?
Yes, I have up to 3. We can have up to 3, and I have a ton of slots. So really, it'll be whatever works for your schedule. Any questions about that? I would ask you on Canvas, there is an outline of professional dress. Please dress professionally. Look like a teacher. If you're in explorations or clinical, you can wear your polo and your neck pants. If not, just wear something that you don't just look like a slob. You actually look like you are a teacher candidate, because we want them to think that they're on top of things, right? And maybe you could get employed there someday. You don't want them to go, oh, she or he's that one that came in and they just look like a slob. I don't really think we want to hire them. So think about this as an employment opportunity also, a chance to make an impression. Here's the rundown. The interviews due by the 6th. That's right? Monday? Alright, I gave you an extra day on that. That's fine with me. If it's not in by Friday, you can have it by Monday. I've changed these dates about 6 times, so.
So it is due Monday?
It can be done. Monday's fine too. Monday or Friday. We're not going to talk about it until Wednesday, so Monday or Friday is okay. Then your classroom plans are both due on the 8th before class, because we've got to be ready to teach them. I'm going to use a lesson observation tool that they use for clinicals. I'm not going to give you a grade on it, but I am going to give you feedback on how you do, just so you can see some areas you need to work on so you can start growing now. The tool is on Canvas if you want to look at it. It's just teacher observation. I'm going to use a random name selector to choose who goes. When I pick the first partner, like for example, Casey is in, right? Did I remember that right? So if I choose Casey, Casey's going to do her classroom management activity, and then Brooke is going to do the cross-curricular lesson plan. So it'll be a toss-up. We don't have time for everybody to do everything, so you be prepared to do both, but know that you're only going to present one. Does that make sense? Yes. Make sure you sign up before you leave. I will just stand at the back with a pen in a second, and you can come talk to me. We'll get you written down. No class Wednesday, Friday, or Monday, and there are resources located on our class webpage. Any questions? Make sure you talk to your partner before you leave and get some information. I'm going to give you time to work. There are laptops here so that you can get started. Hey, Janelle. Hi. Want to sign up here? I'll just do it. And I will send you an email that has everybody on the schedule so that you see it. I got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yes.
Caleb. Can I go live right after
It's on, yeah, that's the date. So October 1st is the date. That's the grade level.
Something about like a science thing. Is that okay? Yes. Okay. I know I've seen stuff.
Yeah, when would be a good time for that?
Okay. They're on time because half the time the kids are doing outside. Huebner? I wanted to check. I would say, yeah, okay. So that's usually first week. Okay, so I'm a teacher, they change it to first week. So I'm getting around with which is always off of, but yeah, I just didn't think what is that it was like, can you figure out something for this lesson? I guess we go downstairs. I'll just text you. Okay, it's easy. So Friday at 8. Nothing good. There's like a 9. I can't do anything between 9 and noon. I can. I'll try to email or something. Yeah. Oh wait, no, we're looking at Friday. I have an appointment with Wednesday. Next Wednesday? Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Sounds great. Doing good. Like no. Yeah. We don't have class next Wednesday evening.
No, we do have class. We do have black.
Yeah, next Wednesday we have class.
Yeah, but they could be there.
Yeah.
9, 10. Okay.
Thursday
I'm probably gonna book Wednesday.
Yeah, I have class till 10:40. You'll stay here. We're in the class together. Yeah. Yeah, me too. On that class together.
Awesome.
We're in math. Yeah. So you want to do that? Thursday at 11:10. Can we get there? We can get there from 10:45. Can't we? Yeah. Do you want to do that? Yeah. Is that for you too? This one? Nobody wants this one.
Nobody wants next week.
Here, I don't know how to spell your name. I know how to say it, I don't know how to spell it.
Do we teach the cross-curricular together?
Surely we can make it over there by then. Yeah, we can.
I'll go after.
Background check at the door might take a long
Yeah.
time. We look suspicious.
They know you're from me. It's okay.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to go like right here? Okay, we're doing this. It's 30 minutes. And how?
Like I'm on 10. It's at 9, 10, 9, 9, 9, 20.
And where's it at? Right down the
By
road?
the president's house, like, you know where the big field is where everyone always plays like flag football and stuff. It's right across the street from that.
Between Homer and Ford
Yeah.
Street.
Yeah. Right on the corner.
This one's a.
Yes.
What's this one?
Say that again. Yeah. I will send the address and teacher name and the schedule and all that stuff. Yeah. Okay.
10. Got it.
I'm not doing anything until 10 o'clock, so yeah. I'm doing class till 10. Okay.
Do we present the one by ourselves and then we would present the other one
It'd
together?
be all by yourself. So like, you would write that. So like, if your name's on it first, you would do your classroom management activity, and then she would do your group after that.
So we each just do one.
Yeah, you'll each present one,
Right.
but you're doing the second
We're doing
classroom
one.
together.
Okay. So we have to be ready to do
You have to be
our
ready to do either.
Okay.
It'll be up to you, random draw. I'll do one. That's the only way I can make it fair. 'Cause-
That's, yeah, I just wanted to make sure.
And we just don't have time for everyone to do everything, unfortunately. Not in order to get midterms done on time.
When's that? actually having like a test?
We are, yeah.
In class
Yeah.
test.
Yeah, all supposed to do that, I guess.
Yeah, supposed to.
Supposed to do that. Once you're on tenure, you learn a lot more than
Yeah.
you can otherwise. The next part, you guys are learning the stuff that they want you to make.
Yeah.
It'll be my open-ended question structure, it won't be serious, because, you know what I mean? I'm not a multiple choice kind of kid.
Yeah.
It's just not a fair thing.
Is it far from here?
No, it's very, very close. Yeah, I'll send you the address. But do you know where the president's house is? No. You know where the new performing arts building is?
Yeah.
Yes, it's like right across the corner from that. And then G, if you don't have time, you don't have to do this, obviously. It's not a class requirement for you, but I thought I'd include you if you want to.
Because I have class like 10.
Yeah, I mean, if you're busy, but you could do even 9, 10 on Wednesday, and that would get you done by 9:40.
It's close.
Very close. But you, it's up to you.
Thank you.
Yeah. On Wednesday?
Yeah. This is so random, but do you know if there's another full day? I volunteer over there. She told me 2 Mondays.
No.
They
Today they don't, and next Monday they don't. Yeah, there's no morning, there are no teachers there today. Your car fixed yet, or is it not fixable, did you say?
Yeah, it's fixable. It's still in the shop.
No fun.
Pain in the butt.
Accidents are absolutely no fun.
No, no.
If that's the time that works for you guys, it's not next Wednesday, that'll be next week.
Oh yeah. That'd be good then. Alright, this with 10.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Anyone's waiting patiently?
Huh?
You just waiting patiently?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm in no rush right now, so slowly gonna creep into work here a little bit, so.
Where do you work at?
Crawford County Mental Health.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so,
good life experience.
yeah, yeah, so the great thing is I can come and go as I please,
Yeah.
so.
That's good.
This is yours, right?
Yeah.
So on the one on the assignment where we have to get up and teach the classroom, do we just send you a link of like our activity, or can we?
Well,
just
they
pull it
both
up?
need to be submitted to Canvas, the activity plan or the lesson plan for the, cause it's one of those things that you already had to do. And if you need like music, you can just add the link to the bottom and we can get to it.
I'm confused now.
Okay, come here.
Do we need to have music?
Unless it's something that you need music to teach with.
But like we can do like our own chant and stuff without actual music and
Yes.
that? Awesome.
So you have to do a music or movement activity for management, okay? And you have to write an activity plan. There's a little short activity plan, you have to submit that today.
Like the little questions on there.
Here, let's pull it up. Let's go with the computer.
Title of the description.
If you're going to need music for it, just
Attach that. Okay. Or like
if it's a chant, just write it out. And then for class curriculum,
October 1st at 9:10.
that's the big. Write out what you're doing. Does that make sense
Yeah,
now?
I got you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Is B, was that up? Just sign up? Alright.
You're good.
So no class until next Wednesday.
No class until next Wednesday. I won't see you for a little while. But I think that you need that amount of time to get stuff done. It's a lot to do, especially with having to be able to do something else.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
overachiever students who stay here until.
You totally are. It's okay. It shouldn't take us very long. I just want to make sure you're comfortable with writing objectives because we struggled with that. We all struggled with that. So I went backwards and made another activity for it.
Okay.
You're not gonna switch your major on me, are you?
Uh-uh.
I feel like I'm chasing students away. Brianna and Buenaville changed from ECU to early childhood development. Now they don't want kindergarten anymore. It's like, that's my fault. No, maybe just a little bit. I think that they really just went to early school, so
Mm-hmm.
it makes a lot more sense. Gotta shut that thing down. Been recording us the whole time doing this extra stuff.